Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of TimberPunk 2, where everything's beautiful. Look at it. It's so glorious. The pit is becoming a beautiful, beautiful piece of real estate. Well, aside from the poo water that's running through it on both sides, but that's fine. We'll deal with that hopefully soon-ish. I want to get a few things vamped up as far as the production lines are concerned, to include the addition of our sparkly planks, our treated planks. Get those up and running, since we do have our tap shack up in here somewhere right there. So tap shack now is in production. That means that we can turn around and start producing our treated planks, which means we can do stuff like unlock all the spiral staircases, get into our advanced breeding pods, so we can skip the whole younger generation portion of the beaver development and so on and so forth. So that'll be pretty good, but we need to solve a bit of our lumber issue. I did a little bit of a walk around over here. I added a few more layers of trees to be planted back here by that forester. These are all going to pop here within the next 6 to 9 days, so that'll be really good for us. It'll be a nice little plus up. I realized I didn't place any lumberjack flags down here, so these guys can get chopped down. So that'll get rectified during this cycle, during the next drought, which is about to pop off here in about a day. I did realize a little too late that this was going to happen back here, so we're probably going to have to come back here, throw in a little bit of the irrigation barriers, and I want to do that along this line back here, entirely back through here, because that would allow us to plant all the way back up to this wall after we get a few of our tunnels in to fill in these pockets where I want to store a little bit more water, which will be good. I did realize that we didn't get as much water out of this as I thought we would, which is kind of stinky. So I think that does give us the absolute need to get this up and running. And so I've come over here, I prepped a little bit of the work area for us. So we're going to have to come through here and tear out a lot of brambles here to clear this line out. Clearing this line out, though, gives us access to all of this lumber back here, as well as this reserve pile of logs, and then eventually into these storage tanks, which would be really nice. And if we look at this right here, we just click this button, you can see a lot of this turns blue. So we don't have to tear out that many in the way of brambles to gain access to all of this once we're through this line. Now, once that's in, that gives us carte blanche ability to come in here and just lay down a bunch of levees so that we don't lose our water off this back end when we start turning on these aquifer drills. Now, the aquifer drills, again, as I mentioned in the last episode, are going to consume a lot of our materials. So we need to vamp up production, which is why all of this is going on over here. And then I spread that over. We're going to have to tear even more or get this finalized on the tear out process so we can plant even more trees back here so that we can get our entire production chain up and running. And all the while that we're working on things that hopefully don't consume that much in the way of our processed goods, to include our metal blocks, our explosives, and our gears. While working up here, we can start working towards the bad water discharge, the 300 gears that we need, the 200 metal blocks, and the 50 explosives. And I'm thinking that I want to uncap this first. I think this is probably going to provide us with the most direct energy feed to each of our ancient aquifer drills over here, making things a little bit easier for us. But of course, that requires 1, uncapping this, 2, carrying the rest of these thorns out so we can run power back along this backside, because it doesn't really work any other way. Now, we could just come in here and blast out or tear out onesie twosie and build over each of those, which would require metal blocks and planks and logs, or we can just tear out thorns. Both are terrible options, but they are both options for us to work with. And since we do have a drought coming up, this has settled down since it's the final last half a day. The last half a day is when all the water slows down, both bad water as well as our regular water. So we'll have that time to work with. And if we do have a few explosives laying around somewhere, I would like to get back in here, finalize the tear down or the rip out of this so that we don't run into any potential issues. I don't think we're going to run into an issue, honestly, because it seems like we're doing pretty good. I'm just concerned when we start throwing in additional large water wheels into this network that it's going to cause a little bit of a, I don't want to say flare up, but a little bit of a flare up, right? So those are things that I'm thinking about. Additional thing that I'm thinking about is total power. We're about to lose a fair chunk of that. So this is 540 times 5 basically for each of those. So 2,500-ish plus a little bit. So for the 40, whatever. Means that we're not going to have all of that for the 3,700 demand that we have right here. So we are going to have to spend a little bit of our planks and gears and metal blocks to get the engines up and running. But that should provide us with the appropriate materials that we need a little bit faster by allowing us to run industry during the drought. So we're going to be balancing that out a little bit, or we'll just slow industry down enough so that we meet the demand and exceed the demands for the bots, and then be able to store up enough materials for our discharges that we want to turn on. Now, I do want to establish a little forward operating hub, if you will, so we can store all the materials up here. I want to get in larger storage materials, but we also need a place that actually allows us to put anything in here, which is not really available to us. There's not much real estate that's cleared. We can fit that in here. That'll be fine. We can, but that is about it. We might be able to squeeze this in here. We can. And maybe, well, it's gears and metal blocks and gears, metal blocks, and explosives. So we need one thing gears will be fine. So let's just do that. Go ahead and put this in right here as well. And this will be a nice staging ground for all the material that we need to have come up here. So that's gears, this is explosives, and this will be metal blocks. Go ahead and tell them to bring those materials up here as they do get produced. And then we can go ahead and unlock this, Bad Johnny. Throw that in right there. Burn the 4,000 signs and drop that as a construction priority. So that'll be something that can run in the background. We'll go ahead and hit the button, get the game playing for us for a little bit. Again, noting that we are 0.4 days to our drought. This is really not holding as much, well, it's obviously not holding as much water as I would like it to, because if we look down here, we're still not full. So all of that water up there in that reservoir is definitely going to hold us off. Well, not actually do anything for us. This is all just going to spill down here eventually, which is not bad. It's fine. I don't know why these guys are bringing these materials up here. I can't recall why they were doing that. We're just going to tell them to stop prioritizing that. These can be a spot for the future where that can go. This has been emptied. We could probably rip that out. I did come in here and I did turn this back on. Or I told them to build something so that we could turn this back on down here. Because that is a lot of lumber there that will give us a nice little boost in the arm. Since we are kind of hurting on lumber right now, just need one more plank in there and we can just go ahead and turn this back on as a position for them to work in. And that shouldn't be that hard. We can pause these two since none of this is going to pop off for another 10 days or so. So that'll be fine for those guys. I do want to pause these guys, however, because I want to save all this water back here for as long as possible. This is a 26-day drought, though, so this will be the longest drought we've had to date. You have nothing to do with in range because they still haven't slapped that. Still haven't slapped this one stair. It's because we're out of gears. Where do I find some gears? Well, they built this before they built the stairs downstairs. What are you guys doing? Can we not do ridiculous things? That would be appreciated. That would be appreciated. I'll leave that guy down there to do with what he needs to do when that eventually does get cleared up. That'll be fine. That'll be perfectly acceptable. Okay, so that being the case, let's go ahead and start ripping this out over here. Not all of that back here. Don't tear that out. That'll be fine. We do need to get up here and do the same thing up here as well. And then we can also get back and tear a little bit of this lumber out, which will be good for them in the long haul. And then we also want to do the same up here as well. And we'll need to blast this down. Well, we don't need to blast that down. I do want to blast this piece out right here, though. That would be good for us. That'll be a great piece of stuff for us. All right, let's check on power. Power is okay-ish. Don't really want to pause anybody. I do need to unpause you, and we'll pause that guy. And I think we'll pause one set of gears. And that should meet the demand for the foreseeable future. And these guys can pump out all of this water to their heart's content. And then it's just a matter of waiting for these last little bit of explosives to go in here. We can blast that out, though, because that still has access there, and they can get to that without too much consternation. Now we can go ahead and start planting a little bit more of our lumber here and just making sure that that's all marked for cutting. It is already marked for cutting. Now our forester can come back in here and continue placing all those pieces for us, which will be fantastic for us. Now let us see here. I would like to get a few more of our... We have a few bot positions going unfilled. Probably can swap these guys back over to regular beavers for a little bit. Maybe do the same in this spot here and this spot here. So we can turn this back on and get a few more of our bots building for us so that they can come up here and continue tearing out the rest of this stuff for us. Now, I'm not entirely sure why they aren't ripping through this, and that's probably why, but they should be able to reach that. They probably can't crawl over that. Maybe that's why they're not able to reach that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just rip that out, and then we can keep working all of this. Let's go ahead and give this a bump here, and then I do need to provide them the means to actually get back here. And that means doing a little bit of tearing out there, and then a little bit of tearing out here. And we can give this a little bit of a priority bump. And that one is already getting worked on. So we have plenty of our timber bots working their hearts out and providing us with copious amounts of thorn clearing. So that is good. We'll get one more beaver in here. Once that little piece of thornage is ripped out of our side, that means that we can clear out a little bit more of this lumber back here. That'll be nice. It's not going to be the greatest. They have started putting stuff into here, and I don't know why they are doing that. I'm just going to pause that for a little bit. I want our materials to make it up here before we start continuing to work on that. I'm okay with it being started, but I don't really have the materials and or the industry to meet the demand to keep up with that for now. And I just realized that you're in there, which means you were pumping water out unnecessarily, so, and that's not good for us. Which means probably turning you back on just so that we can keep this irrigated back here, which is what we need to do. I do need to tell them to stop planting this last 2 rows back here for now, until we can get irrigation barriers in here to prevent the spread of contamination. I also would like to figure out... Oh, we have just a bunch of bots without energy. Okay, that's fine. We are getting a little bit of lumber back here, so that is good for us. That's going to provide us a nice little chunk to work with. That is fantastic, and I love to see it. I don't think we need to destroy this. I think what we need is just for them to place that piece right there. And then I would also like to probably... Let's see here. How do we go about doing this? Do this the cheapest way feasible? Like something like that, maybe? And then we can run this through here. Now I want this to have a little bit of a priority bump. Get the logs and the planks up here so we can get that tackled. Now our other beavers should be still working their way over here. And then they did tear out all of this. So that is fantastic for us. Means we have a little bit more to work with as far as access to our aquifers down here. Now we should, I think we're going to have to clear out a little bit more so we can gain access to this. I think it's just going to look a little something like that getting ripped out there. And I probably just want to go ahead and rip that out too. Just go ahead and get all that ripped out. That'll be fine. That'll be something for them to work on slowly but surely. And then we can come up here and I'll go ahead and toss in our next little piece of path work. And that just runs all the way back there. Once that gets ripped out, that'll provide us a nice little cut into a little bit more of this lumber back here, which will be nice for us. And that also means that we get to clear all of that out. Now that guy's going to be bored for a little bit until, well, they've already ripped it out. So there we go. We'll have to wait for that lumber to get cleared out so that we can continue to send our bots back here to rip the rest of this out. Which is fine. You have nothing to do with range anymore, so you're paused, which is acceptable. We can go ahead and rip that out. They've got the stairs in there, so that is good to see. That means that we can come in here and tear out this pathway here and do the same all the way back to here and rip this out as well. They probably can't reach that, so we're going to have to path over just a tad bit. So they can get to that. Okay, I do have to get all the way over there, which is fine. Go ahead and grab that, and that will get back into our supply depot and chain, which is going to be good. Gears are still on the back burner, slowly being produced. I would love to get more bots in to work those, but our bot production line is a little slowed down. Again, waiting on gears, waiting on planks, waiting on metal blocks. A lot of the process to get all that up and running is holding us back a fair bit. Now, how is this coming along over here? That's the last little bit of explosives other than one last piece here. They can place that from below. They can come get those logs and those planks for us. And now we have a little bit more real estate to go ahead and plant a few more trees back here. Now, all of this is dried out, so this is what we have irrigation-wise, which is beautiful. This is a lot of land irrigated for us. That means that we can plant a lot of trees, which is a fantastic, because we need a lot of trees. We need a lot of them, and how? Sweet. We might even come over here and throw in an additional forester just to help keep up with that demand. And we probably will need to get a few more lumberjack flags in here as well, just to keep up with that demand on top of everything else. And that will be glorious. Now we are only at 3,500 units of water, which isn't the greatest, but that's more than enough to meet the demand for our beavers for the duration of the drought that is ahead of us right now. So that is good. We are running a little bit low on bad water, which is not good, but I'm kind of running out of beavers to fill those positions. But I do have the capacity to do a little bit something like that. Remembering to come turn those guys back on here in a minute, and we can get them in here to pump out that bad water there. Now we do have a little bit of a housing shortage issue. Let's get that rectified. A lot of lumber to get this in here, which is not the greatest. And we did have these start to pop up too, so we will want to get into all of that. here in a moment. I don't want to build over there. This is fine. You know what? We'll just put that in there. That is an acceptable place for that to go. And now we can unpause you two. And that'll provide us a fair chunk of lumber to get back into the swing of things. And I love to see it. Now we have max capacity on our pine resin, so we can pause that guy, get him back to work somewhere else, doing something productive with his life, which would be fantastic. Okay, so that is good. They've already started throwing that together. That's already almost done, so that is glorious to see. They did come collect all of that for us, so that is also awesome. They did not get to put that in because I ripped out their access point a little bit prematurely, so that's on me. So that means that I need to put that back in, and that is totally acceptable. Now, let us see here. How are we doing back in this area? We are doing really good. That means that we can do this, and then we can start working our way that way as well. This is looking really, really good. And I think we might even make this one wider just so that we can have a little bit more access. I don't want to have to build this onesie twosie all the way down the way. So we'll go ahead and just do that now. Just make this too wide. Stop clicking on the thing that I don't want you to click on. Now all of our bots are going to come up here and start ripping these trees out, which are all of the brambles out for us, which will be really nice. Get that cleared out of the way. That is a fantastic thing. I would love to get some sort of power source up here for them to recharge on, so they don't have to go all the way back downstairs to recharge, because that consumes a lot of their day to do so. Just don't really have a place to put that in, and I don't have the materials to turn this back on as of yet. Those will slowly make their way up here. Maybe we throw in just an engine? Maybe? I'm not sure if I want to do that. That's going to consume a lot of our materials. I think we're going to hold off on that for now. That'll be acceptable. We are slowly working our way back here still now, and that is a beautiful thing to see. This land of plenty as far as lumber is going to be so nice to dig into. Now, what is this over here? This is a bad water seep that just fills this entire area up with stank water. Which is not cool. This is where our mine is down there. What is that? I feel like that's supposed to be telling me something, but I'm too ridiculous to not understand what that's supposed to mean to me, so we're just going to leave that be. Would like to gain access to a little bit of these pieces of lumber floating about that are pretty nice. A coffee boost would be pretty good for our beavers as well, but I think we're good with that for now. All right. Oh, one of the questions, or one of the comments that I saw recently on one of the YouTube videos, or not so recently. This recording is going to be coming out a little bit later than that comment came out. Do thorns block irrigation? The answer is yes. Thorns block irrigation. They do not block water from rolling over it, but they do stop or stem irrigation, I should say. If you recall, if you want to scroll back a little bit into this video, you'll see when this was filled up, water or the irrigation line was a little bit cleared out, or didn't propagate nearly as far as it should have because of the positioning of the thorns in here. This being as full as it was, we should have seen irrigation probably back to around here-ish, or even further back in here, but it didn't propagate that far. But I'll point that out again here in 15 days when this drought is over. Now, you are still pumping or dumping water into there, so that is fine. We still have 2,500 units of water. We have 100, or we have 70. We have 69 adult beavers. Nice. Yeah, 70, so about 200 units per day, thereabouts. We're going to be hurting on water, it looks like. I did not anticipate running into this issue again. We should be fine. No, because we're burning a lot of our water on this too. That's not going to be great. Yeah, that's not great at all. And all 5 of you are running right now because of One Gear Workshop and these 2 guys right here. Or 3 guys right there. A lot of water to be consuming. That's not the greatest. Okay. That's really, really not good. I don't like that. I really, really don't like that at all. Okay, we're going to pause you for a little bit, and we're going to leave you guys on over here, and leave you on as well. You guys are tearing through these trees like no one's business. Might throw in an additional beaver to help out with that, because you guys have a lot to work through right now, because all of that is popping up in quick succession, which is good. You guys are bored because there's no more bad water there. Kept that dry. We do have 2 bots with nothing to do with their hands right now. Don't think that we really need that to be going into anything else. I do want to check on this, whether or not they planted that. They have planted that, so that is good. Now we can tear this out. Get this lumber and those planks retrieved. Did I turn any of these guys down as far as bot population is concerned? We did not. Yeah, that's a lot of water being wasted in the middle of the night just for that. And we just burned through another 200, 300 units in that single day. Yeah, we're gonna slow this down. I think we're gonna pause these guys. We're gonna swap you over, and I think that puts us at a point where we can probably pause that one. I want to tear this down enough that we can just run off of maybe 2 or 3. It'll save us a little bit more juice. Still need to slow it down just a tad bit more. Just a tad bit more. Well, that'll save us enough right there. Cool. All right, we can turn that back on. Now, that should alleviate the water burnage for the next couple of hours. I do need to come over here and just tell these guys to start pumping that out, because we are running into a little bit of a situation which we don't want to be running into. We do have a bunch of bots that we just freed from all of those other positions that I just took them out of. So that means that they can come and be builder bots for us. And we'll get that max priority as far as construction is concerned and get those guys working somewhere productive, hopefully soon-ish. They've already come over here and cleared all this out for us, so that is glorious to see. Gonna rip that out right there, and we can start building our large water wheels back over here. Now, if we put in one platform right there and then rip a little bit more of this out, we can get them to... We do need to blast that out right there, actually. Now that I look at that. I have logs and I have planks right here, but I am running pretty low on logs as it is, or planks as it is. Isn't the greatest. I would like this to have a priority bump over everything else that's happening over there. They did get back here pretty far though, so let's go ahead and keep working our way back here. Let them continue to tear all of that out of there for us. You are slowly working through all of that material for us, which is good. We like to see that. Get our bots working on that back there, and that would be a beautiful thing for us. We could get power into that now, then that means that we could have a little bit more watering. I just don't have a place for it to go right now. That's the problem. That is the problem. I don't have a place for the water to go. So other than storing it up here, which is not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either for us. It's kind of a moot point. Kind of defeats the entire point of having that turned on back there. Okay, we have 1.7k and we have 10 days remaining. We have 80 beavers floating around. We should be fine. They're gonna pump this out. Gonna empty everything out, which is not gonna be good. Let's see if we can find one more of those water storage tanks floating around. That'll give us another day's worth of water, which would be good. That's a little ways away. Can't really gain access to that very easily. There's a lot of stuff in the way for that one. Hunting for water in just random storage tanks out and about. Probably not the most feasible way of doing this. Let's go ahead and empty that. That's already in our calculus there, so that's not going to provide us much. That's bad water. That's not going to produce us anything. Or provide us anything, I should say. A little bit of water over here. That's 12 units. It's not worth it. A little bit of water over here. That's 113. There's a little bit more water down here, though, too. Which we are already right next to, for the most part. And I did want to sneak down here as well. Maybe we get into here. There are a few things in here that would be actually pretty neat. That's a good bit of water. It gets us close access to this mine that we wanted to get into anyway. So maybe we spend a little bit of our time and effort running down here. And we're going to have to dam this off. Or block this off because this does fill with poo water. So let's go ahead and work on that a little bit. That means a little something like... How do we do that? They can't build on top of blockages. Can't really do anything. That would be nice to grab all those explosives. That would be really nice. That would be really nice. Anyway, let's see here. Let's go ahead and work our way back there for now. Get that demolished. And rip out some more of this back here. We already have access to that, so that'll be fine. That will be glorious. These are filling up, so that's cool. These are almost filled. Yeah, they haven't touched any of that in a hot minute. That is not cool. Corrosive, but it's okay. They've emptied that out. There's no reason to rip that out quite yet. Is there anything else over here that I am missing? Bad water. I wonder what this is supposed to be. That's a nice, huge area. Oh, a water source. Wait, has this water source been here the whole time? Am I that blind? This water source has been here this whole time. There's no way that water source has been here this whole time. Okay. Wow. I am very, very blind. Okay. We just dam this up and then we get a bunch of water out of it. Yeah, bring this too high. I don't know how strong of a water source these are. But that's a good chunk of water that we could save back in here. We go 4 high and then we can save up a lot of water, but I don't think that those two water sources are going to provide enough water to fill all of this up that well. Anyway, We've got 1K of water available to us, and we are on the final 10 days of this drought, or 7 days of this drought. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close. Like, really, really close. Where was that water at? It was over here. Okay, we are ripping through there. That'll provide us a day's worth of water, so that'll be nice. Get that in there. No, we want that one lower. We go right there, stairs, down. Then we go... Boosh. No, we want a... Yeah, we want that there. Okay, put that there. That there. Stairs. Stairs. Probably would be easier if I had unlocked our spiral staircases, maybe? Doubt it. Actually, let's come in from the other side. Let's do that. That means coming in from down here. Then hitting this button right here, getting down. That water there, that's bad water. It's not helpful in any way. That's all connected. That gets us down to there. Then we go ahead and grab these stairs. Autosave. Still doing autosave things. What is that? Set of thorns. That's obnoxious. My dyslexia is killing me right now, and it's ridiculous how bad it is. Like, I keep looking over here, and it's like, oh, it's 9.5 days remaining. Like, what? Why is it 9.5 days remaining? We have 700 units of water available to us. That's not good. We're going to have to stop all of this. Sorry, guys. Go do other things with your life. That's not burning all of my water. That'd be grand. We might need to send a few of our beavers off to Happy Funland, which is not good. Not what we like to see at all. We need to give all of this a priority and get this done. Now, all of our bots are driving or moving 5,000 miles, which is slowing them down a lot. We might get a few of our bio beavers into here to help out with that. So during the day, they can make those treks a little bit easier. These long runs are really not the greatest for our bots. They're easier to work with when they're right next to their work sites. All right. 4.8 days remaining, and we've got basically 2 days worth of water left. I really, really thought that we would have a lot more water than we do right now. Pull this out. That's going to be another day's worth of water. That won't be bad. I'm going to pause the game for a second. We're going to do a little look around. So I'm going to look around real quick. I will be back in a second. All right. I didn't find anything exciting. It's not cool. Not cool at all, but it's fine. We'll make do. Too far from district. They cannot. Okay, they can't do that. Okay. We'll rip that out, and we'll go down here like this. We'll go down here like this. And then that to there, and this to there. And then we will turn this down. Run that way. Get our stairs in like that. Go ahead and tell them to demolish that. I don't know why they can't do that one. Everything else they've been able to reach. Got too much consternation. Got 4 days remaining, and we're on the last little bits of water. I do need to turn this on for a little bit so that the bots can recharge. You guys out of there. Get you guys out of there. Turn this on. Get the bots charging again. Should be enough juice for them to go for a little bit. And that will be fine. They're going to run over here. Get a little tap of the juice, if you will. Should have a few beavers running over there to fill that in. This is all going to start drying out here shortly, which is stinky. We've already lost a few of our blueberries. These have another 9 days to go before all that dries out. That's got 4 days left. We've got 300 units of water going, and that's not good. I do want to get our bio beavers building, because right now our bots are basically worthless to us, because they are all out of power right now. They are refilling, so that is good. Once a bunch of them are no longer out of energy, we can get them back up to here, building all this for us, which will be good. And the next day rolls in, and we still only have 200 units of power or juice available to us. 13 bots with nothing to do with their hands. We have 36 hours remaining in power for this, with the amount of water and logs available in there. So that is good. That will provide us with plenty of stuff. Keep this up and running, hopefully, or get that up and running as soon as the power turns back on. I would love to get down here and rescue this last little bit of juice, but I can't get access to this quick enough because it's taking 5 years for them to do all those things. Let's go ahead and get these prioritized obtained so that the haulers can bring some of this stuff up here so that they don't have to drive 5,000 miles to get all that material. Which is why those are there in the first place, which is why it's baffling to me that I haven't actually done that yet. But it's okay. That'll get rectified. We have 2 days left, and we have no water. Essentially, no water. This is fine. Everything's fine. All of our bots should be juiced up again. So I think we can swap out a few of these positions again and get them to tearing all of these out. We really should not have any. Yeah. Get our bots back to working builders' huts. That'll be a good thing for them to do. I'm going to pull the... Well, I don't think I need to pull the work hours back. Haulers are bringing the materials up for us. So that is good. There's the planks and the logs. I really just need planks, honestly, except for a few for the stairs, but that should be okay. Now the builders should just go back and forth right here, and that should provide us with access to that reserve tank. Last day, and we're going to have a bunch of thirsty beavers running around. A bunch of very thirsty beavers. Which is not cool. And we do want to turn all these back on. For as soon as that kicks off, we can pump out all of that juice as soon as be really possible. Honestly, I don't think we need to have this running. Well, it's already got the water in. We need to get these guys charged anyway. That can run for the next 21 hours. It's going to kick off as soon as this drought ends, basically. And we shouldn't run into a situation where our beavers are thirsty for more than a day and a half, which should be fine, theoretically. Hopefully. Alright. Planks are still being very slow to get up to the positions that we need them to go into. I do want to swap out a couple of these guys to bots just so that we can have them pumping 24/7 as soon as this drought ends the next morning, which will be good for us. And hopefully we have a long temperate cycle because we are bingo water. I would love to see another aquifer in here, but alas, there's not another aquifer for us to tap into up here, which is kind of awful, but there's not much else we can do about that. I would love to get into these as well, but that we don't have the power to run this right now. We do have the logs and the planks to go ahead and start working that out, though. We've got a few beavers with nothing to do with their hands right now, so let's just blast this out. Drought has ended. That means the water's turning back on. Hopefully. Bunch of very thirsty beavers. These are pumping, though. We're going to crank up the work hours just a tad bit. 21 hours, 20 hours seems like a feasible amount of time for them to work their little toes off. Right? All of that should be okay. All of this is pumping. Yeah, so here's the irrigation that I was telling you about. So if you look, it doesn't really propagate irrigation behind it much. Like this irrigation is only because of these open lines right there. You can see where the irrigation is blocked behind there. You can see it's gone back to here. That's from this line right here, that irrigation line. But yeah, no irrigation. It blocks the irrigation of water. You can see that even back here. Like this should be irrigated, but this is preventing it. Don't know if it blocks it as well as the irrigation. What are they called? The irrigation barriers. But it does do a decent job at preventing the spread. Okay. We have power again, which means we can turn on all of these systems again. Get all of our beavers back to work, producing all of the stuff that we need. Getting food back up and running again. Getting bots back up and running again. And we can go ahead and pause that. And then pause you guys. The appropriate positions stocked with beavers. This needs a priority by haulers. This also needs a priority by haulers. We have 100 units of water available to us. This is the only area where we're producing copious amounts of water right now, other than up here, which is slowly spilling down into that reservoir and then backfilling back into here. So that is good. We're moving in a positive direction, but not as well as I would like to be at this point in time. We do need to unpause you because we do need to replant all of those berries. We need to keep those moving as well. I do think we need to pause you guys, though, and probably you guys, just so we can have enough haulers moving all of our goods. And that also means that we need to unpause all of these that I did pause while I was looking for other stuffs. So we can keep our beaver population moving. Right now we have 0 kits. I don't think we lost any due to dehydration. So that is a good thing for us. That is a very good thing for us. You love to see that. That is beautiful. Water's almost at 400 units, so we almost have an entire day's worth of water available to us, which isn't the greatest, but it is something. We could probably get a few more bots into this side and pump more of this water out. Might as well go ahead and do that because we have the capacity to do so. And pump this we shall. Like such as. And then we'll put in a large tank right here. It's going to consume a fair bit of our what is it called? Fair bit of our metal blocks, but it will provide these guys ease of access to all that. We'll swap those guys over to bots so they can work throughout the night. And we'll hit that button there. And that'll be 1 bot position going unfilled. We could probably drop this priority-wise so it just pulls from there, and that'll be good. We almost have 1,000 units of water. Things are filling in back on this side. This is filling, or is blocked off for now, so that is good. Food is still in a good spot. Lumber's doing a lot better, so that is good to see. We could, if we had a few more beavers rolling in, then we could turn these guys back on to get more of our bad water up and running. I would love to have more explosives running, since we do need 50 of those. We do have access soon-ish to this, which is nice. We finally gained access to this down here, so we could tap into that and roll into there. I think this only floods when these are active, these bad tide drains. So I think this is a Pucano when it is a bad tide. So that is interesting to keep in the back of our nugget. Let's go ahead and empty that out. Have them run that down to the other side, and then we could sneak in here and gain access to a few of these things. I do want to blast in here just because I do want those underground ruins or access to those therein. But that is fine for now. I do just now see that we have a bunch of aquifers over here. So if we block this bad water seep off, then we can start putting a bunch of aquifers in here. Aquifer drills and gain access to all that, so that'll be good. 1.8k units or 2k units of water. That is good to see. Things are moving a lot quicker now with the addition of those couple of water pumps. And we're at day 5, so that is grand. That is really, really good. We don't have a bunch of thirsty beavers running around. We have things grooving in a positive direction. I would like to get in another explosives factory. I'd also like to get in another... I would like to get in our wood workshop as well. Don't have a place to put that. We can pause you. We don't need to be burning water there right now. That is okay. This is almost full, so that is good to see. We do have a drought coming in 3 days, so we did get a max temperate cycle, so that is fantastic. You love to see that. We need to hit this as a supply depot. We don't really have a place to supply it to, so that's fine. That's acceptable. How are we doing with this as a potential off? How are you looking? 2,400 units of power. That is a beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You love to see that. All right. So I need beavers to not be running through the poo water. Why do we have... And now we have our first casualties. We're in cycle 21, day 6, and we have our first casualties to the poo water. Great. How many? Just one? Oh my goodness. All right, well-being, decontamination pod. Get that in there. That's on me. I accept full responsibility for that one. I'll go ahead and throw in an additional one just in case one of those other guys gets sick. I could have sworn that I had... Oh, it's these guys. That's where they came from. Okay. Also, I need to turn that back on. Let's go ahead and pause those guys so we're not sending biobeavers to do what our bots should be doing. That would be a great thing. We do need to turn that on so they can gain access to that. We only got the one unwell beaver, so I'm sorry, Jarm. You're a little sick there, bud. But it's, you know, it's all on me, okay? I can't blame anybody else for that. That's 1,000% on me. Now it's just all running down here. I don't understand. Whatever. It's settled down. Maybe it's because we're slowing down. Go ahead and start putting in a few more of these in here. we could actually probably help out a tad bit by giving this a priority bump. That is prioritized by haulers. We need more haulers. We need more beavers to be more haulers. That would be good. We can turn these guys off here on this last day. We have 4,000 units of water now, so that is good. Don't know which way do we go, though. That's the question. Because if we uncap this, then we have power down here already, and we don't have to run power through the maze down to here. Which would be good. Would be really good. Did this stop moving water? It should have stopped moving water by now. It has not stopped moving water, though. Still open. Maybe we pull that down to 1.5. 1.0. Yeah, 1.0. We'll do 1.0. No, I said 1.0, not 2.0. There. Now we can fill a little bit more water up in there, and any excess will spill over on top. That'll be fine. And that will be a nice area for us to work that out. This is all empty now, so that is cool. We could probably rip that out if we wanted to. I am torn on tackling this, or I feel like the answer is yes, tackling that, because that provides us with copious amounts of juice. Need to pause you guys so you can go do other things with your lives. We need to pause you. We'll continue to pump the rest of this out. That's going to be probably close to 6,000 units of water. It's only a 17-day drought, so that's fine. That also means that we're probably going to run into a bit of an issue on the back end, and we're going to run into an issue right now. Somebody let all this dry out. Wonder who did that. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's on me. I accept full responsibility for that one. I can blame no one but myself. Yep, okay. Turn all these back on. That's what I meant to do. That is fine. That is good. They are throwing these in onesie twosie, which is Gucci. Probably throw in, I did want to throw this in right here. That can be logs. This can be a priority bump. And I think we can unpause this. Don't quite have the explosives, but they are being produced right now. I think we can pause that just for a little bit of a save on the power. Probably pause one of these guys as well to save a little bit more juice. And I think if we just pause these two, that will keep us below our 2,000 line, which means that we can keep the things that we want running for now up and running, which is good. Is what we want to see happen. This is in. We can prioritize this by haulers, get those guys in here to do that, and I want to come over here and check on this. I want to get access to all of this back here, and then that gives us a lot of things to play with. Well, let's go ahead and grab that. That's an extra 200 science that I didn't have before. And that means that we prioritize this. Get that all done. That's a lot of lumber that we'll be able to extract from all of that. And that'll be grand. We have one contaminated beaver. You should be just chilling in the decontamination pod. I'm going to pause that one since we only have the one that's sick. And that's fine. We have enough extract to keep him occupied for the duration of his sickness, which is totally acceptable. And we are still encroaching on the 5,000 units of water, which is a glorious thing to see. We still haven't finished this area yet, but we have almost got the power ready to go, which means we will be ready to feed that over to here and then drop that power line down here, which will be really nice. Again, I don't know which one is the better option. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just uncap this one. Just go ahead and uncap this one. means grabbing this, grabbing that path, making sure that these are prioritized by haulers. And they are. Gears are being produced. Explosives are being produced. Metal blocks are being produced, just slowly. I'd love to get an additional guy in here to work that, but that is not going to happen for now. We have ease of access to all of the materials on this end and summarily on this end. So these guys can keep themselves working throughout the night. We can probably steal these positions back from the bots. However, they're being productive for us, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. All right. So next episode, we finish this area. Uncap this. Actually, you know what? Let's finish the uncapping of this. I feel like that's going to be a good thing. So we're gonna do a little speed up montage. We're gonna uncap this guy right here. Spend the next 14 days hopefully producing all the materials that we need for that, and I'm gonna keep an eye on all of the waters here. But with that being said, I hope you guys had a fantastic time. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that as well. It would be a glorious. We are moving quite beautifully in a direction I never thought could be possible for this channel. I'm glad you guys are enjoying TimberPunk 2 with me, and it's been an absolute pleasure to produce, edit, and do all the fun things. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic day wherever you're in the world. Stay safe out there. Don't do anything dumb, dangerous, different. I'll catch you all in the next episode of TimberPunk 2. I'm out. See ya. We're the ones who overload the world with hope.